Welcome to Catholic Mom Mindset, a daily show where you learn to walk closely with the Holy Spirit so you can live the life God is calling you to. I'm your host, Sterling Jaquith. Let us begin. Welcome back. Today I want to talk about one of the best pieces of advice that I ever heard. And that is to find someone who is living the life that you want and to study them. And it might end up being a few people. You might really admire how another mom incorporates faith into her family. You might find a different mom who has a marriage that you really would like to model. You may, for me, right, there are some moms that run businesses from home while raising their kids that I look up to. But when we live in isolation, which really, to be honest, is most of us these days, most of us are just mostly living in our living room, right, in our homes, isolated from friends and family for the majority of the day. And we were never designed to live like that, but it's where we're at. These are the cards we have. And so you can create mentors out of anyone. That's what's amazing about technology right now, is that you can just find someone who's living the life that you want and study them. How did they get there? The other type of person I like to study is someone who had the before after that I want. Like, who's someone that was overweight for most of their life, figured it out, and has maintained a fit body for 20 plus years after struggling for 20 years? Who's someone who really changed their generational tree financially? Really went from, poverty to the middle class to being wealthy? Who's someone where divorce was riddled throughout their family tree and they managed to stay together and then raise children who stayed together? Who are the families that raise saints? And so I want you to just acknowledge that it's weird that we live in this kind of isolated vacuum right now, but we don't need to make an excuse out of that. You have access to the internet and to podcasts and to books. Find someone who's living the life that you think you want and study them. And by the way, in studying them, you may decide you're not willing to pay the price. It's just totally fine. Right? You're like, actually, I like bread. So I'm going to choose to be a little 15 pounds heavier than I could be and just still get to eat bread. Or I don't want to work more than 30 hours. That's a hard rule for me. So if 30 hours means I'm not going to make $10 million, be like, great, I don't want to make $10 million. Like, what is it that you really want? Find someone who's done that and study them. Don't reinvent the wheel. You don't need to. Humans are strong. Humans are resilient. Find someone who's done it and study them. That's the shortcut. So I just wanted to share that piece of advice with you. And I want to encourage you to find someone that has the result you want, even if they're not Catholic. Because you can add the Catholic part. Now, there are more and more Catholics who are living public lives, which I think is fantastic. And I really want to interview a bunch of Catholic millionaires someday and write a book. It's going to be an anonymous book where I interview Catholic millionaires, but I don't say who they are, and then I ask them a bunch of questions so we could study how they do it and how generous they are and how humble they are. I think it's just going to be the most powerful book. And it's okay, though, that in the meantime, we may not have a lot of those examples. So I can study somebody like Tony Robbins. I'm in a Tony Robbins place right now, you guys. I can study someone like Tony Robbins who's not Catholic at all. And it's fine. Because he's just taking care of his body and he has strong relationships and he's always feeding his mind. Like, I can take from his life the things that apply to me. And it's not dangerous to me because he's not going to pull me away from Catholicism. Now, sometimes I'll find someone I think I like and then they're a little woo and they're talking about like tarot cards or energy planes or something. And I'm like, oh, I'm out of here. I don't choose to take even the good things from somebody like that. Like, there's some people where they're just so off of my integrity and how I want to live that I say no. And some examples might just be, a mom in your friend circle, and she just has a lot of peace and joy. You can just ask her questions and watch the way she lives. Watch how she makes decisions. If you want to have more peace and joy in your life. Okay, so be intentional about the life that you're living. Decide what you want. Find people who are modeling that and study them. And see what's different between how they live and how you're living right now. And that'll just show you the work that you need to do. It really is that simple. All right, mamas, I'm praying for you. Have a blessed day. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Catholic Mom Mindset. To learn more about growing closer to the Holy Spirit, check out our free resources at madeforgreatness.co. Thank you so much for listening and have a blessed day.